Kukawa is a compelling story. Of all local government headquarters in northern Borno, Kukawa is the one still to have his people back, at least not until now. Look at the picture of the town. It is a place in desolation. The people of Kukawa that are returning now are coming to no house. See them here. They are coming back in great numbers. The military have given the state government the go-ahead to bring the people back, and the return journey is on. Here, they are being prepared for the last lap of their journey back to their lost home. Fatigue is written all over their body, but the prospect of being home at last inspired them. For a person that has been displaced from his own land for onward of 10, 7 to 8 years, displaced and out of his area of comfort, and to a community where he knows next to nothing, obviously, when he comes back, the kind of stories he tells must be a human story, must be very touching. Now, this is precisely the situation with these people. There are hundreds of them, and they are coming back to reunite with their families after 10 years. Many of the stories this returning tale can make for a bestseller. The story Hajia here is telling me is that when she left Kukawa 14 years ago, on the event when the insurgency actually began, this young lady here was just 2 months old. Today, when they are coming back to Kukawa, the girl is already 14 years old and a woman. Obviously, it has been quite a long time. But during that time, she has been moving from Kukawa to various areas, running away from the activities of the insurgents. It happened that this woman speaks of losing her husband some 8 years ago, but she's coming back with the 2 children under 6 years. Across the returning women are likewise scenarios, which actually speaks of their high fertility away from home. Probably the readers of the scripture may have a picture of the similarity with what is happening now. This is the great trek back home. These are people of Kukawa local government area who have been displaced, some of them more than 14 years ago. Now they are making a triumph entry back to their homeland after those 14 years sojourn as internally displaced persons. No thanks to the activities of insurgents, and in fact no thanks to all the displacement that they have suffered as a result of that. After several arrival protocols, they are allowed to link up with their lost home. This is what used to be of the house of Lamid Hassan. He left Kukawa 14 years ago. He is back now with his 3 wives and 14 children. He is at the mercy of a friend who gave him a small shelter before he sought his house out. We visited the house. Palmata identified the space where her house used to be, but she seems to be at a loss. Nobody can read her mind. Yet, there is this man. He identifies what used to be his house and just leaves his soul out around it. He has no worries in this world. Even his bag is not a bother to him. He needs to rest his tired soul. The returnees were given stipends to start up life back home. Their obvious lack of shelter and food are a threat to them though. These are areas they require urgent intervention. The government is not without its request for them too.
We need to invest in medium and longer term sustainable solutions, because feeding people at IDP camps, providing palliatives by government and non-governmental organizations to displaced communities is no longer sustainable. The only solution is for people to go back to their farmlands. And this can only be possible through resettlement, reconstruction, rehabilitation, and resettlement.
One landmark was again achieved on the day. For the first time in 14 years, Friday prayer is offered in Kukawa. When the Muezzin rendered the call to prayer, the atmosphere was sober and gratifying. It is home at last. In Kukawa, Borno State, Muhammad Hamis Rogu, NTA News.